Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's second video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's second video. Day 10 will take us to the 4th of May. May the 4th be with you. And we'll be able to, we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the extended GFS and ECM ensembles over a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at the CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. This is when the second half of May, and I shall get over that for you in a moment. Just to say that first, video release there was our 6 UK weather forecast. Please like, share, and subscribe on all of today's videos of content. And thank you so much, everybody, for doing that for GavsWeatherVids. Hope you're having a lovely, lovely Wednesday. Right, well, let's have a look at central temperature. The CT is still in the 10s, but only just. We've now ticked down to 10.0, 10 degrees exactly. Still 2.1 degrees above 61 to 1990 average, and provisional to yesterday to the 23rd of April. I was going to carry on ticking down. I think when that date's right, it should probably be in the 9s. So 9.9 probably. We shall see tomorrow. I've got a feeling we might end up with kind of a mid-9s finish, so something like 9.5 maybe. Although the last couple of days of the month are going to be a bit milder, so possibly sort of upper 9s might be the landing zone. It's going to be mild average month anyway, which seems quite remarkable given how chilly it's been over the past week or so. But bear in mind, the first half of the month really was exceptionally mild. So these were GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles the next couple of weeks. We're at Sheffield today. The red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Sheffield. We're starting off below average at the moment. Going to stay that way for the next 3 or 4 days as well. Very end of the month, we see a tick up just here. Around the turn of the month, so we go back close to average. I mean, hovering close to the long-term 30-year average, really going through the first week or so, first week, 10 days of May, to be honest. Not a particularly big deviation, but certainly looking milder than it has been over the past week or so. I've got some quite warm ensemble members, these ones up here, so we may see a bit of a warm-up through the first week, 10 days of May. I think at the moment we just say we're going back closer to average and leave it at that. But there is a little bit of warmer potential there through the first week of May. Precipitation-wise, we're not going to be completely dry. There will be further precipitation at times up in Sheffield. I think actually areas further south are going to be a little bit wetter over the next few days. And when we get into next week, especially later next week, then it is looking more unsettled as well. Hold on. I'm sorry, everybody. It's looking a little bit more unsettled in all areas later next week as well. We keep most precipitation spikes going through the first week or so of May, so it will be further showery conditions. So, you know, it remains a mixed picture, let's put it that way. If we go down to London, there you see, but there's actually more precipitation spikes over the weekend and into the start of next week as well, further south. So it is actually going to be a bit wetter further south than areas further north. Temperature anomalies from the 24th of April to 2nd of May, still below average, and that's the case through most parts of Western Europe as well. So a chilly week to come. And precipitation anomalies from the 24th of April to 2nd of May. Well, driving average in the northern half of the country and a bit wetter than average in the south. So, again, that just backs up what I was saying about southern areas tending to be a little bit wetter than northern regions, which is slightly unusual, but, you know, these variations do happen. Latest weather map from earthandnullschool.net shows that we've got low pressure to the east again today over the low countries of northern Germany. And with a ridge out in the Atlantic just here, we're still pulling down this chilly northerly wind as we have been for several days now. Well, let's start going through the chart data. The latest UK Met Euro roads looking a big night on Saturday. So low pressure down across Spain and the Bay of Biscay will be heading northwards through the weekend. That brings the wet weather into the south late Saturday and on into Sunday. We'll bring some milder air up from the south as well, though, at the same time. So temperatures will lift up, but there will be plenty of rain in the south. And then next week, we go into this pattern of low pressure to the south and the west. That will bring further wet weather to the south and the west, whereas northern regions are a bit more protected by this area of high pressure over Scandinavia. Well, it's turning into the east, but it's quite a warm east. If you follow the isobars back, the air actually originates from like Italy and whatnot and comes around in that direction. So although winds in from the east, temperatures will actually be a little bit milder next week. If you look at the upper air temperature there, you'll see there's actually some quite hot air sitting across Germany. I'm not sure we're tapping into that, but we will see the temperature lifting up a little bit as we go through the weekend and into next week. We lose the northerly and we replace it with either a more of a southerly influence or easterlies, with air originating from south of east, potentially. Right, I can't again bring the low pressure up from the south as we're going into the weekend. Brings the wettest weather into the southern half of the country. Some of that rain will get further north, but I think a lot of it's going to be down in the south. Into next week, another low pressure punches through from the Atlantic. That will bring wetter weather into the north then. A bit of a change of icon. It starts building up the Azores high as we get into the middle of next week. So have this 1,030 millibar ridge building into the south. That looks quite pleasant, I have to say, especially for southern regions. Quite a bit dry and warm weather. Very different to what the UK Met is showing there, though. So let's see if there's any support from any other model to build up the Azores high next week. This is for KMA. Again, we bring that low pressure up from the south over the weekend. That'll bring the wettest weather into the southern half of the country. Then we've got low pressure out to the west into the early part of next week. That low pressure then sinks away. Another low, though, replaces it. So stays showery, particularly the south. But the north, we're dominated by high pressure over Scandinavia, with winds in from the east. So main dry, northern half of the country, but there will be rain down in the south. And then we end up with high pressure just out to west of the country again, so back into those cooler northerly winds. Let's possibly try to build up a ridge, though, by about the 5th, 6th of May. So possibly a little bit of support there from the KMA for what icon is doing just a bit later on. I'm so sorry once again, everybody. Got a bit of a cough today. I've had very painful ribs. I was having a fall last week and haven't been able to cough a lot. But, you know, as the ribs are getting better, I'm starting to be able to expand the rib cage a little bit more. Anyway, you're not interested in my ailments. Oh, I should make myself laugh, that's sore as well. Right, anyway, GFS midnight run with low pressure coming. You don't get over these things, though, when you're in your 40s. I'm 46 now, 47 in October. You don't get over these things as quickly, do you? I've noticed that, you know. These little falls and whatnot, they start taking their toll when you're in your 40s, I can tell you that. Right, so, and I was on the magic water, right, I was in the garden, I was in gardening, did something healthy, actually. Before anybody starts about that in the comments. Right, anyway, back to business. You're interested in that. Back to business. Let's get on to the midnight GFS run. Low pressure down towards Spain and starting to push northwards. That brings a lot of heavy rain into the south over the weekend. Looking really quite unsettled there through the early part of next week. Middle of next week, got low pressure just to the west of Ireland. So let's change the wind direction. We bring the wind up from the south. It's warmer, but with the low pressure in the Atlantic, there is still the risk of some wetter weather at times. And we keep it unsettled up to day 10, really. Now, that's the 4th of May. May the 4th be with you. And we've got low pressure more or less over top of the country still there. Certainly no ridge from the Azores with that one. And beyond that, well, low pressure meandering around the place as we get through to the 6th of May. That's Bank Holiday Monday, of course. I should be doing Bank Holiday updates, actually, should I? Have to do one of those before too much longer. And then the low pressure goes drifting off into the North Sea. Winds pulling to the north by the 7th of May. And then high pressure trying to push up from the south. All in all, just looking a little bit mixed. By the very end, possibly something a bit drier and warmer into the south, but overall still quite mixed with GFS. Midnight rubber GFS 6 there. Once again, we're pushing that low pressure up from the south as we're going through the weekend, bringing the wettest weather in across England and Wales, and then low pressure is out to western country early next week. Meandering about. So, yes, up to day 10, looking very unsettled, really. Low pressure parking itself over the UK and Ireland. And notice heights are rising up towards Greenland as well. So, by day 10, the GFS V2 there actually has northern blocking coming back. So, look at that. Big time northern blocking with GFS V2 there by the 5th of May. Oh dear. So, that would suggest quite a cool and unsettled bank holiday weekend. And the low pressure keeps meandering about all the way up to the end of the GFS V2. Oh dear, blimey. Look at that northern blocking as well. So that will suggest quite a cool and wet first half to May, I think. Might be going a bit over the top though with the northern blocking. Maybe. Who knows? If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for doing that. Why not drop a comment? Let us know what you think about this and all of our videos and content. Don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. Thanks so much, everybody, for doing that. We need to put on around 85 subscribers to get ourselves to 18.2k. So if you could give us a sub, that would be incredible. We will thank you so much, everyone, for doing that. That would be awesome. Right, GM. All looking much of a muchness, I think, for the weekend. Bringing that low pressure up from the south. Plenty of wet weather piling up from the south, particularly for England and Wales. Saturday and Sunday. Low pressure rain dominates through to the early part of next week. That looks quite a vigorous low there. Big like Tuesday. That will bring wet and windy weather in off the Atlantic. The low pressure sticks around the country all the way up toward day 10. Trying to raise heights a little bit to the east, but low pressure rains out to the west. We do change wind direction, so it's warmer with more of a southerly influence, but still very unsettled there at day 10. And then the ECM once again is bringing that low pressure up from the south over the weekend into next week again. Stays unsettled. Raising the heights a little bit to the north, maybe by the middle of next week, sending the low pressure further southwards. We start bringing in more of a north-northeasterly wind with the ECM as we get around days 8, 9 and 10. But it's still looking rather showery, and the ECM so sorry again, I believe the ECM and model output is possibly the coolest actually around days 9 and 10. Not much support for the icon idea of building up this rich resource. So at the moment I'd say icon probably a bit of an outlier. This is a precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from tometeo.com. So yeah, further showers to come over the next few days, but it will be drier spells as well. And then into the weekend, up comes all of this rain from the south, Saturday into Sunday as well. Sunday looks a very wet day potentially for England and Wales in particular. And then into next week, we start bringing some heavy showers up from the south with rather warmish and unstable southerly. Might even be a bit thundery maybe into the latter stages of next week. Eventually we turn the wind into more of a northerly and starts to turn a little bit drier, probably quite cool as well. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensemble today for day 10. Gets us to Star Wars Day, the 4th of May, from the Icelandic Metropolis. 19 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure ridging to our west, so dry and a little bit on the cool side with that, probably bringing in the wind from like a northwesterly direction. We've got 14 high pressure to the southwest, low pressure to the north. That's a bit dry maybe for the south, rather unsettled up in the north. Got 12 with high pressure up here and low pressure down there. So that probably gets the wind into the northeast again. And then we've got 6 very unsettled with deep low pressure over the top of the country. Higher pressure is a little bit more involved though at day 10, so we have got to say that. Not necessarily strongly so, you know, not necessarily lasting all that long, but, you know, the minority option is 6 here, very unsettled. The other options have got high pressure kind of around anyway. And then in 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got, gets us to the 9th of May. 11 members of the ECM ensembles with low pressure parked right over the top of the country. Another 11 with low pressure to our north and northeast. So they're both unsettled. That's 22. We're very unsettled. We've got 11, another 11, with high pressure just out to our west. That could be a bit drier. We'll be a bit on the cool side with winds in from the north. We've got 9 with high pressure, again, just to our west. That's going to be drier. Perhaps the northwest is a bit on the cool side with that one. And then another 9 with high pressure out to the west. That's going to be drier, but with a cool wind direction from like a northerly, northeasterly type or northwesterly type direction. So the majority option actually is the 11, the 9 and the 9 with high pressure sort of close to us. Not in a position to produce anything particularly warm on the cool side of the ridge, but would be a little bit drier. Right, CFS V2 finally, these are 500 millibar height anomalies. So we break it down into week periods. The first week period will take us from the 24th to the 30th of April. The next week we'll have low pressure over and to the east of the coast, so looking rather cool and showery. Very wet at weekend, of course. Week for the south. Week 2 will be the 1st to the 7th of May. High pressure's here over Scandinavia there. Low pressure down towards Biscay. So probably still a little bit showery, especially in the south. Should be warmer though. Wind direction is changing for a southeasterly type influence. Week 3. Potentially not quite nice. It's the 8th to the 14th of May. High pressure just to the east of the country. That will bring up more of a southerly type flow. And maybe that could be a bit drier as well. That could be quite pleasant. Week 4, though, looks quite strange. It's the 15th, 21st of May. High pressure there has gone up towards Greenland. Low pressure around Finland. Oh, no, a little bit mysterious that one. Let's put in a question mark. Perhaps turning cooler and more showery again, but as it's 4 weeks away, not worth worrying about. Okay, we're done. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Make sure to everyone for doing that. Want to drop a comment and know what you think about this and all of our videos and content. Don't forget to your friends about GavsWeatherVids. Make sure to show everybody for doing that. Right, so just tell us happening on the channel tomorrow. We're going to have a 6 AM UK weather forecast. There's going to be the European outlook, and there'll be a 10 to 14 day as well. And I'm going to try and get in a bank holiday update as well, because I'm behind. I should have done a couple of those by now, I think. So I will try and get in a bank holiday update at some point in the next day or so. Right, well, you enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, though. And for this one, it's all for now, and thanks for watching.